Hello. I'm sorry, I was on the phone with Carol and taking a break from working on the channel and I lost track of time. I lost all track of time. How could you go? Hey, Sharon. Hello. I'm sitting here nodding to messages I'm getting. Okay, guys. So, I had something really cool happen, and I have to share it before I get into anything else. If I can find it. Which, of course, the way my desk is right now, that's not happening. I'll share it later. So, first off, I want to say hello to everybody. Hello. Let me go through the list. My07, Marie, Carol. Oh, yeah. I gotta get my screen. I'm still not completely set up. I hope y'all are having a great Saturday. I have to do this quickly today. Hello, Cook. Hello, everybody. Carol, why is your message... Gosh darn it. Sorry about that. I got Carol's message pinned and not mine. Happy early Easter to everybody. I am going to be eating at 2 o'clock, supposedly, with the family. So, we're going to make this happen. Nope, it was a glitch on my end. I thought I was clicking on my name. And it didn't happen. Today, we are talking about Arctic tundra. Now, here's a really big question. Why do I call it Arctic tundra instead of just the tundra? Anybody know? Carol, you can't answer this because you've already seen it. The reason is Nope, because there's also an alpine tundra. Alpine meaning that it's up on a mountain. So we're just talking about Arctic tundra. So ecosystems are way more than just the plants and animals and their relationships. Ecosystems are also about the climate. And so with that in mind, I'm going to try and do these habitat focuses where I give you the climates first. Gonna try. May not always happen, but you know, we're gonna give it the old nature guy try. Temperatures vary somewhat from minus 40 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius, or minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Hello, Nature Boy X56. Another factor is precipitation. And this biome gets around 150 to 250 millimeters to 6 to 10 inches of rain per year. So technically, the tundra is a desert. More or less. The word tundra comes from the Finnish word I'm gonna put it into the I'm gonna try and put that word into the channel. There we go. And that word means treeless plain. It gets a pretty, as we've already said, it gets a pretty low amount of precipitation. The tundra sits south of the ice caps in the Arctic. It ranges across North America, Europe, and Asia. And winter in the tundra is long. If you think it's long in the United States at times, or any place else for that matter, in the Arctic, winter can go from 6 to 10 months of the year. 6 to 10 months, and it's dark. So there you go. Temperatures will plunge below zero for pretty much all of winter. Another factor with life in the tundra is permafrost. And permafrost is a big chunk of soil that is completely frozen. And it can range anywhere from a few feet to over 1,500 meters or 4,900 feet. This is the layer from which we remove these well-preserved species of life from the Arctic. So when you see the mammoths and the baby lions and stuff like that are removed from the Arctic, it's this layer that they're removing them from. Now, because of the short growing season in the Arctic, or in the tundra, you're not going to see a lot of trees up here. One, because they really can't get their roots down very far. And two, the growing season is so short that the trees really don't have a chance to really grow. It doesn't mean they're not there. You just have to look a little bit lower to find them. So here you're going to find lichens, lots of lichens. Hi, Sigma Gamer. You're going to find mosses, grasses, sedges, and shrubs. And you're even going to find flowering plants. But the growing season is quick. The trees you're going to be seeing are going to be short. And they're going to be covered in snow. Completely covered in snow. The tundra also is a wet place. Evaporation takes place, but it's fairly slow. Slower than in other ecosystems. Therefore, you're going to find bogs and ponds, which means that during the summer and maybe the spring, there are mosquitoes. We talked about plants up in the tundra, but I want to revisit plants once again. There are over 1,700 different kinds of plants, and that includes 400 different flowering plants. So plants in the Arctic, of course, have to be adapted to winters. And like I mentioned, they have a really slow growing season. They call it a desert because of the amount of rain that it gets. The amount of, not necessarily rain, but precipitation. So Antarctica, even though there's tons of snow and ice, is also technically a desert. Again, it's based on the amount of precipitation that a place gets. So plants in the Arctic have to be adapted to winters, and they have a really short growing season. Generally speaking, it's only 50 to 60 days each year. That's it. Very, very short. Now, there's also lots of animals up in the Arctic. This is not all of them. This is some of them. Things like lemmings, voles, which are little rodents, caribou, Arctic hares, squirrels, muskox, as well as predators like the Arctic fox, wolves, and polar bears. You might also see birds like ravens, snow buntings, falcons, owls, loons, shorebirds, terns, and gulls. And yes, as I already mentioned, there are insects. Things like flies, moths, grasshoppers, black flies, which are another type of biting insect, and even bumblebees. Oh, but I'm not done yet, because there are also 5 different amphibians and even maybe a couple reptiles. There might be spiders. There might be. I will have to look that one up, Marie. Some of the amphibians you're going to find include the Siberian newt, common frogs, moor frog, Siberian wood frog, and a surprise to me, a naturalist, there's even a common, I think it's the common wall lizard. Nope, just common lizard. And you may even find adders, which is if you live in the UK, you might be familiar with that snake. It is a venomous snake. Yes, there are spiders. Wolf spiders live up there. Hi, it's Erie? I don't know if I said that right or not. I know what I'm hearing. Oh, okay, cool. No, it's not dogs. Did you guys hear that? No, it's not people. I don't know if it's pipes, if it's coming from outside. Maybe. I don't know. No, it sounds like an animal. Hold on a second. I figured it out. It's strictly my fault. I knew what it was. I forgot to mute something. And I thought I had. I'm not going to say what it was. Just because I don't want to get in trouble. It's not that. I was playing a game. So, that is the end. Yes. No, I don't. But I can learn about it. Is Cook actually in live? I thought I saw him. Yeah, we have black widows here in the United States, and they are poisonous. Weird. Sorry, guys. I'm either yawning or I get hungry during live. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for your ideas yesterday. It was a huge help. Tonight we are going to do this again, or the same theme, but we're going to be doing taiga instead of tundra. And if you're wondering how bad the mosquitoes can be in the Arctic tundra, pretty bad. Well, it went over 15 minutes. I've done way worse. Well, from what I've seen, mosquitoes they are annoying. The only thing more annoying is when the birds are like right outside your window at like 5 o'clock in the morning and they're greeting the sun by talking, or not talking, but making your calls. Yeah, that's annoying. I don't think. No bats. Now, they may visit the Arctic. Bats may visit the Arctic, but they don't live there. They would probably more so in the taiga, where there's trees that they can roost in. Maybe on the fringes where the taiga and the tundra meet. But bats would be a rarity. Thank you. Come again when you can. I don't care what you call it. When you're trying to sleep, nope. Nope. And it's always the American robins. Sometimes the cardinals, but Um, yeah. Um, the Arctic is very unique and very fragile. By one thing you might see more of in the Arctic are grizzlies. They're starting to expand their range a little bit. I'm getting a phone call. And I know if I answer it, it'll kick me out of live. Which is a pain. So, anybody have big plans for Easter? I know what I'm doing. Hey, Eric. Gotcha. I will be having church tomorrow for an hour and then coming home and not really doing a lot with YouTube. That's what I tell myself anyway. Thank you, Eric. Lately, it's become a thing with me eating during live. I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I was eating cereal. It's my pre-dinner snack. Yeah, it was like Aldi's sugar snap cereal. I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh, bugles and cheese. Bugles, I have to be careful with bugles. Here's the problem. Oh, Cheez-Its, gotcha. Here's the problem. When you come into my live and you're told to stop doing something and you continue doing it, there's repercussions for that. You're not going to come into my live and disrupt it. Carol, he doesn't need to go by. He has a habit of coming into live and I don't want to say taking over, but disrupting it. He just, it's like, can you not? I suppose. But he's not. I gotta be careful how I say this. That's not the person I've been having issues with. Yeah. In his case, I think it's venting. Because yesterday, he was being very disruptive and he got timed out for it. And so he's upset. Well, the topic is usually way shorter. Like, I need to figure out a formula for live so that when I do go live, I have enough material to cover an hour. Yeah. Unfortunately, Eric, you did, but that's okay. Well, not yet. It's only. We're only. Yeah, well, yeah, I gotta be done by 2, but not yet. A good formula anymore, Eric, is if you're in. If you're in by. Depending on how many people are asking questions, half hour, 15 minutes. But I think the thing that surprised me most about the topic was the fact that there's lizards, a type of lizard that lives in the tundra. I was like floored. I knew there were wood frogs, and the wood frogs are pretty amazing because they will actually freeze. Like they can freeze themselves completely frozen, warm up, and act as if nothing happened. Oh. Yeah, I don't. I don't do that yet. Can't afford to. I did find out today that one of my shark's teeth is a, right now, anyway, as of right now, um um found out that one of my shark's teeth is a, yeah, is a baby megalodon, which is super cool. And at the moment, I can't find it, which is not okay. Um, I have people that I know that like are into fossilized shark's teeth, and I have a bunch that I haven't identified yet, and they were nice enough to do that for me, which was super nice of them. I thought it was a great white. Like this. That's a great white. The You'll notice it's a little bit fuzzy around the outside edges. That's the little serrations on it. Unfortunately, it's not a complete tooth. So, I'm trying. Yeah. Ouch would be ouch would be the word. It bugs me that I don't know where my tooth is. Maybe it's by the computer. But the other one's just a little bit bigger than that one. But it's black instead of see if I can find it. Real quick. Or not. That's an or not. I'll find it when I least expect it. Yeah, so apparently... Yeah, I know. And... Sorry, it shifted. I know it's not holding up. I thought it was right here. I never saw that. I've never seen Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Or, yeah. That show. Because it was on cable and we never had cable growing up. I know they have frozen people. I don't know if they can wake them up. As of right now, no, Eric. There's no sign right now. We can freeze you. We can freeze you, but as of right now, there's no guarantee. Right. But there's also no guarantee that we're ever going to be able to actually do that. So that's the issue. You can be frozen. But then the question is, can we bring you back once you're frozen? That's the real issue. That is true. I mean, look at the thing. It was frozen in ice until we thawed it out. We know there's viruses. We've been finding them. That's true. Captain America was frozen. Anyway, it is 1:51, guys. I am going to sign off. That's true. We have also found intact, I don't remember the name of them, but like prehistoric lions that have been frozen. Yeah, but if you're frozen for 3 years, it might be possible. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm looking at no. Anyway, guys, I need to go because we're going to be eating soon. Happy Easter, everybody. I will be on again at 6 p.m. So I will see you guys then if you can be there. If you can't, I understand. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.